You know, when you think back to this time last year, everybody was, well, waiting for anticipation for the release of course, the Duke of Sussex's book, Spare. We didn't really know exactly what to expect, and he started off the year as he meant to go on for the rest of the year, basically trashing his family. And if you recall, there were so many things in that particular book that were proven not to be true. And then, of course, he went on television and various interviews, basically backtracking on those stories. I never really understood that. You know, as I said to you before, the interview with Tom from ITV, when he basically said, no, we never said that. Why didn't he call him out? Quite frankly, it's because they're chums. They'd rehearsed a lot of that stuff. Whatever people say, he knew exactly what was coming. While Tom Bradby may say, of course, that, no, he had no idea. You don't go into a big interview like that with a lot riding on it, in the vein that somebody like, say, Prince Harry may get up and walk when you've spent all of that money. That's how television works. But what's interesting now, as one can imagine, is truly this. Hi, good morning. How are you? Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, come on, make an effort. I know we've all got that thing, the sort of Christmas post blues or whatever they call it. You just get really tired, don't you? You think, oh, goodness, And of course, many people will realise, yes, I've managed to succumb to something of a cold. I know, sounding very husky, isn't it? Yeah, I know. A little bit Telly Savalas when he recorded If. Do you remember that one? Mega hit that, wasn't it? The Lollipop Cop. Do you remember him? Telly Savalas? You see? I know, and you look back at these things and forget just how big they were. On a more serious note, when you look at these particular pictures of course, the recent Christmas Day service with all senior members of the British monarchy, you'll see one thing. And what you truly see is this, particularly with the Prince and Princess of Wales, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Prince George. They're very much a united family. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that just how, shall we say, Princess Charlotte's definitely taken the lead. What a stunning young lady she's going to be as well. And a lot of people are very critical about the way that Catherine dresses her. I think she looks terrific personally and in keeping with her age bracket. But I've been told by a very well-placed source, it's simply this. Basically, some might suggest that Prince Harry's rhetoric from his book, Spare, well, they're certainly not going to have a repetition of that particular situation with the three Wales's children. What you will see is that they're all very much involved in everything. As we saw at the recent carol service, headed by the Princess of Wales, everybody had a role, everybody was included. And I've been told that basically, Prince George definitely looks out for his younger brother, Prince Louis. Now, what's also interesting is this. Unlike, of course, the very young Prince William that used to have those one-to-one sit-downs with our late and wonderful monarch, Her Majesty the Queen, it doesn't necessarily work like that for, of course, Prince George. He can tap in to his father, so he knows exactly what's coming later down the line. And in turn, I've been told that both William, George, and indeed Charlotte have been very basically explained their line of succession, what's actually been asked of them, and what's required to do. Obviously, one can imagine that they do not want a repeat of something like this. Perhaps in 20 years' time, Prince Louis writing a book called Spare 2 of something like that. But according to that source, William and Catherine make sure that all of their family are very much included, the grandparents, everything, And I think, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, what you're seeing is a totally different, more modernistic, literally monarchy coming forward. And I do not perceive that in the future you will see a lot of those problems that you saw with Prince Harry, who, when you look back at footage, say, with Princess Diana, was very much looking for a lot of attention. And more importantly, we now saw how that played out. What you see with George, Louis and Charlotte is a united family who clearly get on, who clearly like being with each other, and more importantly, simply know their destiny, all thanks to having very sensible parents. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.